My name is Alex. I'm 39 years old. I'm from New Hampshire. And I have a medical condition that doesn't seem to have a cure. I've been living with it for the past 20 years, and I have no answers. There seems to be no end in sight. Um, and so I'm making YouTube videos here to see if maybe somebody has a suggestion as to what it could be, or uh, and then two, I've never met anybody that has this. I've met people with similar symptoms, and I've read about other conditions that involve some of the symptoms that I have, but I've never met anybody that had my exact condition. And so maybe even if I don't find a cure or a name for what it is, because I don't even have that, uh, well then maybe as some I can interact with somebody else that has this, or maybe they can realize that they're not alone. Because I think that for me, that's been a really tough thing too, is being the only person that has this. So my symptoms are as follows. Every single day, every morning, I wake up with three primary symptoms. First and foremost, above all else, I wake up with uh, incredible fatigue, exhaustion, no matter how much sleep I get, no matter what I do to improve my quality of sleep. No amount of sleep hygiene, sleeping pills. I've tried so many prescription sleeping pills. Nothing that I can do will help improve my sleep. Um, it feels non-restorative in nature. It doesn't refresh me at all. There's nothing rejuvenating about it. It's essentially like I'm just unconscious for 8 hours or however long I sleep. The second symptom is headaches. I have headaches all day, every day. They never stop. They never go away. I don't know what it's like not to have a headache. I don't know if it's a migraine territory. I don't think so. I never feel like I have to. I don't think it's a migraine. Um, it doesn't Headaches don't really respond to anything. Tylenol helps, acetaminophen helps a little bit. Ibuprofen helps a little bit. Uh, but nothing really ever makes it go away. There are things that can reduce the severity of it. It can take the edge off. It can bring it down from like a 7 to like a 6.5 or maybe a 6, but the headache's always there in full force. And it always feels directly tied to my quality of sleep and how much sleep I got. And the third symptoms are my eyes. My eyes are always sore and tired. Sore, tired, throbbing, painful. My eyes feel bruised. It feels like my eyeballs have headaches themselves. And if you can't see it in this video, my eyes usually have pretty dark bags underneath them. And they're really sensitive to light, so I wear my sunglasses all the time. My room is never this bright. I'm usually sitting in the dark in here, but I have these lights on because I want it to be aesthetically pleasing to watch and to listen to. And I apologize for my mic, by the way, too. This is my very first video, and I kept thinking I want to make it perfect. I want to get a new camera. I want to get a new mic, but I just can't wait any longer. It's been like this every single day for 20 years. Overwhelming exhaustion, headache, and sore eyes every single day for 20 years. I'm 39, so it started when I was 19. And that's the thing that's unique about it. I remember exactly when it started. I remember the day it started. It was in February, whenever I was 19. So 2006, it's February. It was winter. I was living in my own apartment by myself. Went to bed like normal. Woke up the next day, kind of feeling all three of those symptoms: the exhaustion, the headache, and the sore eyes. I thought it was the flu. It felt like a flu. I felt run down. I felt like I had a virus or a flu or a cold, but it was exceptionally bad. It was unusually bad. But I chalked it up to that because it was that slow, lethargic, when you have a flu type feeling, right? And so I didn't think much of it at the time, but I did notice it was I was unusually tired. I always prioritized sleep, and I probably got at least 8 hours that night. I always gave myself at least 8 or 9 hours in my bed. Um, so I remember thinking that I was disproportionately tired for the amount of sleep that I got. But again, I was like, yeah, this is probably like a flu. It feels a lot like that. So I got through that first day, and then it was there the second day, all three symptoms, the same feeling. And I thought, okay, this is probably going to last a week. This is just a bad flu. A week goes by, still have all the same three symptoms. Nothing has changed. I'm taking the normal things that you would take. I'm taking cold meds. I'm taking the NyQuil and different things like that, and it's not going away. The week turns into a month. The month turns into a year. At the time, I didn't have insurance. I really wasn't making a lot of money, so that's why I put off seeing a doctor. And I really didn't know how to. I didn't know what to do. I was living on my own. I didn't um, have any support from my parents, and I didn't know what to do. So I finally saw a doctor, primary care physician. He didn't suspect that there was anything wrong, but at this point, I had had these symptoms every single day for a year, and they were really quite overwhelming. I mean, the level of fatigue is um, it's really quite overwhelming. It's profound. And then the headaches. That's why you see me squinting like this. I'm just always in pain. My whole face, my whole head, my whole yeah. So anyway, I don't want to keep this too long. This is for the first one. I plan to do this every day, but that's it. I've seen all the specialists you can think of for all these things. I've had sleep studies done that don't show any sleep apnea. Although I was convinced that I had sleep apnea because people would tell me that I snore sometimes, and um, one of the sensations that I always feel when I wake up in the morning is like maybe I was held underwater all night. That feeling, when you hold your breath underwater for too long and you kind of get that lightheaded, dizzy feeling. I feel that every day. So I always thought it was perhaps a oxygen thing, or maybe there was some kind of I don't know, carbon dioxide oxygen exchange that wasn't happening right, and there's a buildup of carbon or something somehow. I don't know. That's just what it felt like. And so I did finally see. Um, I did have a sleep study done eventually when I was 30. So I had my first sleep study done when I was 25. They didn't find anything unusual on that sleep study. They didn't say I had sleep apnea. They just said I had some mild, uh, I think it's hypoxia, which is just some shallow breathing. But they said I did not have sleep apnea, which was kind of crushing. Because if it wasn't sleep apnea, then I don't know what it was because I had already seen other doctors up to that point. And then the symptoms continued, to age 30. Uh, so we did another sleep study, and that showed that they said mild sleep apnea. They said, I think it was like something like 5 events an hour. So they got me on a CPAP, and I had CPAP from age 30 to 39, and there were no changes in my quality of life of any kind, nothing. Um, the machine that I had recorded events when I had them. So an event in sleep apnea is when your airway closes up and you stop breathing, and the machine senses that, and so it increases the pressure to open your airway. and I was having maybe one event an hour, um, effectively I didn't have sleep apnea, at least on the report. And again, I was getting no benefit from it. 9 years, 9 years. Most people feel better within the first week. Maybe it takes a month to get the full benefits. Maybe a couple months if you've had it for untreated for a long time. But after 9 years with no improvement of any kind in my quality of life, I just stopped using it. So I've seen neurologists for the headaches. I've seen ophthalmologists for the eye pain. We've done MRIs. I was on prescription headache medications, which don't really work. They have their drawbacks. So to manage the headaches nowadays, I drink a lot of coffee, Tylenol, acetaminophen, but for the most part, I just live with the headaches every day. It's just a weird way to live life. So I think I'll leave it at that for today. And I plan to document how I feel every day, even just for myself, so I can see what, if there's any changes. I don't know. Thanks for watching.